So let's just have a walk. So today is the 20th of November 2024. So it's basically late autumn here. Well, actually it's winter already, but you can still see remnants of autumn, I guess. So it's, like I said, the temperature has dropped significantly. But yeah, it's good to still get the vibes even in the winter period. So I said we're having a look at the shrine of St Jude. I think that's just the little church right in front of us here. I don't know where the entrance is, but I'll try to see. So let's go a bit forward. So the shrine was built in the 1950s, just after the war, to provide a sanctuary to both Catholics and Anglicans to pray, especially given the two wars that had just ensued. I think entry should be free, I hope. Well, it's closed. So yeah, but it's a Catholic shrine, but again it's also open to Anglican visitors, so that's it there. I'll also include, where possible, the interiors in the caption. That's if I'm not able to get in. I'm not sure I will be able to, you never know with these things. Well, what do we have here? It seems like there is an opening after all. Alright, let's see what we can find inside. Okay, so the church is opened. I don't know about the little shrine there. But yeah, as you can see, it's a Catholic church in a very Catholic fashion. So you have the altar, which does include the Blessed Sacrament. If you are a Catholic, you will know this. And a unique difference between a Catholic and an Anglican church will be the Stations of the Cross available. So yeah, it's a nice, cozy church with an organ. I'm sure masses also take place here as well. We'll have to walk out through where we came from. yeah, but that was a nice little detour, I guess. So, if you are a Catholic, you might want to visit here. Alright, so let's leave this street. We will be checking out another church, the major church in Faversham actually, which is St Mary of Charity. And just after this next building, I will give it some historical, information on the church, but also broadly on English history and how it relates to the church as well. So, because it's one of the few churches, outside places like Westminster Abbey or Canterbury Cathedral to house the remains of the King and the Queen of England. So, yeah. So the building that we're looking at, not this one actually, so this one, the red brick one here, nice impressive Victorian building, is known as Faversham Almshouse. So it was built around 1865, so obviously during the time of Queen Victoria, and as almshouses started in mostly in the 17th century. They're meant for, providing homes to people that were in need. So, poor people, as well as older, maybe pensioners, at least those within the pension or the age where they're unable to work. So this was to provide to them housing. Today it contains about 69 homes, and I also read they're currently seeking for funds for renovation. I'm not sure they charge rent to those who live here. So as with a Victorian time building, still have a chapel, which I'm not particularly sure is in use today, and I doubt it's also open to the public. So it's run by Faversham Municipal Charities, and as you can see on the gate, Faversham Almshouses. So from here, we shall head towards the town centre and look at the unique nature of the market town. There might be some history involved in the town centre, which, if I know, I'll be able to tell you. If I don't, I may actually include that later and a voiceover. let's take this. I think I'm gonna go through the other side. So my goal is to start from the other side of the high street. Oh well, I don't know that it has a high street. It has a market street, I guess. I think we can use here to the market centre. This is for sale. If you want to buy. One unique aspect about winter in England is it's usually a bit milder when it's raining, and when it's sunny, when it's bright, clear skies, on a winter's day it's usually cooler. The temperatures are actually lower. However, if you do have a day where temperatures are in the 9s, a bit cold, towards the 1s and the 2s, and it's rainy, then you're likely to get snow. I think that's how it works. But what we had over the past few days was, like I said, remnants of snow from the north. So autumn. Let's use the next street. Yeah, exactly. This was the street I was supposed to use, guys. So my apologies for that. So this is towards the end of the market street. I'm going to quite be all exploring. Just a quick look right at the end. Well, we're going to be seeing a lot of Tudor type houses. Yeah, there is much to see towards the other side, so let's head in that direction. So what I was doing before was taking you through the back street, just not the part of the video. Even on a Wednesday, I guess it's not too busy down here, especially on a winter's day. It's likely to be more busy during the summer. That's a unique style to the building. The bent road. So that's the meat and veg market. Typical market day, a lot of fruit and veg sellers will gather underneath here. It's still very functional, but very in use today. These are Tudor buildings. You can see, for example, this one is a 1570s building. I'll offer you a bit more of this. You still have some late Victorian modern buildings there. This looks closely similar to the market hall at Windsor. What is that? So that must be a water tap. I must have provided water to people who into the marketplace, I guess. Good place to have a picturesque coffee, but that would be more during the summer, not under this kind of cold. Never put it past people though, you know, anything for a cozy experience. So, in front of us there is the town hall. This is a theatre. I think so. I might be wrong. But let's check in the town hall. See what other info. Alright guys, let's carry on towards St Mary's. Just some general overview on the history of Faversham. So it's an old market town, which though not a sink port or not one of the 5 major ones, is actually a subsidiary to the port of Dover. But unlike other sink ports, like other major sink ports like Sandwich for example, it did have a main port where large ships could dock, and that means that ships were able to come to Faversham. If they were able to split into smaller boats, then they could make their way to London. Otherwise, a lot of the goods will be taken off to transfer by road to London. And again, unlike Sandwich, Faversham at the time did have a road transport link to London, so it was very important for that purpose. And this is partly why the last Magna Carta issued, the 6th version, this time by King Edward I, was issued here to Faversham in 1300. I'll just include a photo that I've taken of the copy, but you can find it right here at the town hall. But yeah, the one of the main original copies is here. I think there are about 25 of them across the world. We saw one in Sandwich in my previous video. This version actually feels more intact than the previous one. It was written in Latin, and if you looked at the base, it will tell you that Magna Carta was issued and directed to the barons of Faversham. Then on the side, if you go further in the museum, you also have Henry IV's message or charter also issued to the barons here, because at the time that he had taken the throne, he did take some possessions of the barons, to which they had sued, and well, they won against the king. So he wrote that, implying that they could, in a way, carry on as normal. You also have in the museum a common horn, which is used to draw council members and barons and other decision makers' attention for a meeting, which I'm sure is replicated across most cultures in the world, with different patterns of achieving the same purpose. You also have a charter issued by King Henry VIII, also to the town, and this was actually rooted in the fact that, of course, the English Reformation had just taken place, and Faversham Abbey had just been dissolved, and he basically wrote that as a confirmation to the town as to what their duties were, or how they were to administer themselves, especially since the council didn't have to contend with the abbey anymore, for which the abbots were also playing some role in the running of the town. So this was no longer the case. So you have the Henry VIII Charter. You also have included a painting which also depicts the town of Faversham and showing other major towns en route to London. It was hand painted in 1620, and again it maps out each area based on the major parish church. So for Faversham, which we'll see down south, is still St Mary of Charity. So we're right at the rail station, the old Victorian rail station. That's a nice car. So as we'll see when we get to St Mary's, is like I said, apart from Canterbury Cathedral, is the only church outside of Westminster Abbey to house the tomb of an English monarch. So buried in St Mary's is its founder, King Stephen, and his wife, Matilda. If you look right at the distance there, we can already see the church there. So like I said, it houses the tomb of the founder of the abbey of which the church was built on, which is Faversham Abbey. So King Stephen was the son of Adela of Normandy, who was the daughter of William the Conqueror. So he was the grandson of William the Conqueror, and he took the throne after the death of his uncle Henry I. So Henry I had several illegitimate children, and two legitimate children, namely William and Matilda. William died at the age of 17 because he and his crew drank a lot before sailing to France, and basically their ship capsided, and he was able to rescue one of his illegitimate sisters, also named Matilda, but he died. And his other sister, who was legitimate, later became known as Matilda, the Holy Roman Empress. So she was now, well, in line for the throne technically, but because at the time there wasn't the culture that a female becomes a monarch, even for the fact that Henry did try to see if he could in a way secure her place, he wasn't able to do so. So anyways, after his death, the throne was taken over by Stephen, his nephew, and a civil war ensued, which is commonly known in English history as the Anarchy. So it was essentially the fight between Matilda, the Holy Roman Empress, and Stephen, her cousin. And remember, Stephen also got married to a lady named Matilda of Boulogne, and together they formed this abbey, Faversham Abbey, and both they and their son Eustace would end up being buried here upon their death. I should also point out that Stephen died in Dover. I think he had some kind of stomach illness, which claimed his life. I think Matilda died in Essex, but either way, both were buried here. So during the dissolution of the abbey, of the monasteries, he carried it. Many of the tombs were in some ways, I'll say, raided, and the bodies, that's the exact spot where their bodies are, has still not clearly been identified. But however, their bodies are here somewhere, well, at least at the abbey. The town has actually been visited by several monarchs over the years, including current King Charles, who visited whilst he was still King Charles. Alright guys, I'm just taking the back routes. Yes. Well, at least it's less noisy. We've got less cars. Yeah, we are approaching some part of the old abbey that still remains. After the dissolution, a lot of these are now residential homes, still linked to the parish anyways. The key point is they do not house abbots and monks anymore. Still looks quite lovely even for a winter's day. This must have been an old industrial building which is now converted to a Tesco.
Okay, thank you.
So that's the other side of the house. So again, another part of the abbey that still survives. Well, it claims to be the second biggest church in Kent. That's the second biggest non-cathedral church, I guess. This lovely spire that we have actually was done in the early Victorian period. So it's not as original as other parts of the abbey, of the church that links to the abbey. Remember, the abbey was founded in around 1148. Let's first have it. The interior of this was actually modernized in Victorian time. This was done by Sir Gilbert Scott. You remember Gilbert Scott for St Pancras Station and also for the Big Ben in London. So, whilst this is the older medieval part of the church, these renovations here are Gilbert Scott's work. Though I will have to say, Gilbert Scott's works tend to follow a lot of the Victorian Gothic tradition, so that's quite a bit of, of a drift from his usual fashion, I guess. But he's my favorite British architect, especially from an interior perspective. But St Pancras is also quite lovely, so, and also the Houses of Parliament, which is also impressive. Gothic impression. It is a really large church. It doesn't look so from the outside, but once you come in, you're greeted by a very large building. To King Stephen and his wife would also be here somewhere. But I'm not sure I'm able to find it. Including these ones. So on the way, so up there, it will take you to the creek, to the standard quay. But I think for the most part, we will be heading back through where we came from towards the town center. Okay, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video so far. Such a star. Directly reflecting on our faces. So, I always don't like pebble dash. I'm sure that beneath this pebble dash is some bricks that push. Hopefully one day in the future gets taken down. I feel like the eyesore. I see another set of pebble dash there. Quite annoying. Alright guys, thank you for being with me on this walk, and we'll catch up some other time.